welcome in to today's episode of Boo and Tony, still in the morning.
Look at
us. It made it happen 2 days in a row.
Look at us.
Bro, we're on a roll. 2 days in a row. If you're new here, my name's Tony Acosta. I've been in the industry for over 12 years. Principal broker. Hang out with this guy here at the #1 team at Real Broker on planet Earth.
Boo Maddox. Boo Maddox. No, that's not my real name. That is what everybody calls me. My real name is yet to be determined. We won't tell everybody right now. Don't want to give nothing away. You got to keep the ops on lock. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the kids on TikTok say. Welcome in. Stoked to be here. I broke this up a little bit today. Instead of going on Threads or Twitter or something like that, Facebook, I went to Reddit because I feel like that's where we're going to get the nastiest things said about us. Went to Reddit. We're going to expand our resources here. We're going to find some new stuff here. So
Reddit is the wall of a public bathroom, bro.
I know. That's why I figured we'll get some good stuff in here today.
All right, let's see. Let's see what you found.
Let's see what the bathroom looks like, Tingy. How much does the average real estate agent earn? Am I missing something? It feels like real estate agents just drive to an appointment, open the door, barely know the property so they can't answer any questions, and then get the sale. Seems so easy. I'd be interested to know. Average take home, does anybody know? Edit, great response. The overwhelming majority agree that it is a very easy money, but most don't want to do it due to the poor reputation that the profession has. To that, Mr. Real Estate Purist, Mr. Tony Acosta says this.
This could be the only one of the whole show, by the way. There's so much to unpack there. Can we put it back up on the screen, Jordan, so we can dissect this? All right, here we go. First of all, there is this perception that it's super easy, that there is no value.
Yeah.
And I attribute that to two things. Number one, I think people have the perception that all agents do, as he says, is just send properties. Back in the day, pre-internet, it was way more difficult, right? You had to go through a broker that had the list of properties. There was a way that things had to be done. But also, I think that real estate agents have done a really, really bad job at showing exactly what is done. So I'm not even offended by this because I agree that agents have done a really bad job.
This is the sentiment.
That's why the lawsuits, that's why public confidence is at an all-time low. This is why. And so I think the thing is, how do we fix it? What I would tell agents is you have to try to educate more. You have to show the ins and outs, what is behind the curtain. Show people what the process is, because not only is there the perception that it's easy money, but then you and I on the inside know the statistics. And we know that most agents sell between 3 and 4 homes a year and make what? $42,000?
Tingy, will you Google this really quick on your phone? I am really curious. Will you pull this up really quick, Jamie? I am curious. I think that the average real estate agent earns somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 at the most, at least in the state of Utah. If you look at the statistics, we talk about the 70% statistic all the time. 70% of real estate agents are doing 4 transactions or less every single year. If your net take-home pay is somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000 on each one of those deals, you are making well below $50,000.
Sure, of course.
So I do think, Tingy, did you get that answer? Yeah. 72,000? That seems high. That seems high. I would love to know where that's coming from, Tingy, but that's okay. Even if it is 72,000, I don't think that that's the number that most people, that's not what the public would say if they asked what the average real estate agent makes.
We're all millionaires.
Here's my advice. National average is $54,000 for real estate agents. So if you want to know how much real estate agents are making, it's $54,000. If I had to guess too, that's probably a gross number. That's not accounting for having to pay for running your business like we talked about in great detail yesterday. So is this an easy money-making opportunity? Yeah. Are there some transactions that I have closed at the end of it and I was like, hey, that was some easy money? Absolutely. Are there others that I've closed and I'm like, damn, that one took it out of me just a little bit? Absolutely. So I agree with you. I think real estate agents are so hell-bent on trying to make this transaction feel as smooth as possible that they don't let buyers and they don't let sellers into some of the crap that we have to do in order to sell a house. So if your only value add as a real estate agent is to show up, open the door, not be able to answer any questions on the house and then expect it to collect a paycheck, yeah, you are overpaid even at $54,000 a year. Up your skills, and I think the advice I would give to anybody that's watching this, if you are trying to work with a real estate agent, the 80-20 rule in real estate exists at a higher rate than maybe any other industry. 80% of the business is being done by 20% of the agents. Go and work with one of those 20% agents, and I think that you'll have a great opportunity or a great experience, and you're not going to be wondering what you paid for at the end of the transaction.
I love that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay, next one, Tingy. Another one. How often do real estate agents lie? I am finally buying my own place and found something really nice on the market. I think that's what happens. I think buyers are finding more properties right now than agents are. Today I met with the agent and took a look around the property. It needs some love and TLC, but it is nice. Before going, I did my research on the property. It's been on the market for 2 years. The price has been lowered by 35%. It was delisted and relisted to try to hide the price drops. When I was looking at the property, at every question or observation, I got a response in lines of, oh yeah, that's what others have been saying when looking at the property. When we were leaving When we were leaving, she mentioned that there is already an offer on the property, that the seller is waiting for me to throw in my hat, and that it is lower than the asking price. To me, it all sounded like sales tactics, to pressure me to make an offer as near to asking price as possible, and was wondering if this is common. Now, this is an interesting one, because I have had this happen. I have had properties sitting on the market for 3, 4, 5 months, and then all of a sudden, I get one person that's interested, and I get a second person that's interested, and a third person that's interested, and it's the weirdest thing. To that you say, though, is this a sales tactic, or does this actually happen?
It does actually happen. It truly does. I've been on that same boat. It's rare, but it does happen. What I will say is at the exact same time, two things can be true at once. I think both of these things are true. Does it happen? Yes. Is it a sales tactic? Absolutely. It absolutely is. I've been in these broker meetings. I know agents bluff. We had an agent here in our office where we knew the listing agent was bluffing, and they held that bluff for weeks. And at the end, they pretty much fessed up that it was a bluff. And so here, what I would say is agents understand that there are consumers that do their homework. They do their research. They have access to a lot of the same information that we do. They can see the history. They can see how much the price has been dropped. They could even pull comps if they wanted to. And so not every consumer is going to do that, but you have to be prepared enough to have those conversations. If a consumer comes to the property and they know more about it than you, I think that's a little bit of a red flag. And here's where it reaches a new level of difficulty, because if you're a successful agent, you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clients, you have a bunch of showings, you should do your homework on all of those. For the consumer, they're just focused on that one.
Yeah.
So they have way more time to deep dive into the one, which is why I agree with your take of trying to stay hyper local whenever you can. Because when you stay hyper local, you can answer a lot of those same questions instead of being spread out across 2 or 3 counties.
Yeah, somebody done messed up on this property. Let's just call this like what
No
it
doubt.
is. If it's been on the market for that long, it's been dropped by 35%. Somebody messed up on this. Yeah, this is not the time to be trying to pull out the sales tactic of, I have a whole bunch of people interested on this, because let's be honest, you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't have dropped the price for 35%. You wouldn't have to list and relist. Now, having said that, does that happen? Absolutely. What I think this agent was trying to do was create some urgency. Here's where it gets tricky, though. If you were trying to create agency or urgency for the buyer, instead of helping the buyer understand what their urgency is, if any at all, you're going to miss the mark, and I think that this agent missed the mark entirely.
Entirely.
So,
And you lose credibility.
Next one, Tingy.
All right, this one's for you because you sold condos for a long time. Builder, Edge Homes, top builder in the state of Utah. Bottom or top floor apartments, my guy?
It's a good question. I think it has to do with pricing. Pricing has to absolutely be accounted for. Now, are there reasons that people want to be on the main floor? Absolutely. You're usually getting direct access. You're having no stairs, nobody below you. It absolutely is going to come with a little bit of a premium. Now, having said that, the top floor, you're going to have more stairs. It's going to have some better views, generally speaking, and you're not going to feel like people are walking on top of you because you are the top floor. So I think as long as the pricing is in accordance, whatever your choice is. Now, if they are the same price, take the main floor. If the third floor is anything more than about $10,000 or $15,000 more cheaper, then you're going to want to go with that top floor for that reason right there. There should be a price difference between the two. They should absolutely not be trading. The middle floors should absolutely be the cheapest, every single time.
Did you see typically when you were back in the day-to-day at Edge, would you see more demand for top level or more demand for main level?
So it's hard to say because on the units that I was selling, at least, we had half as many main floors because we had garages on the other side of the building. Okay. So is there more demand? Yes. Is that somewhat artificial because there was half as many units within the community that are on the main floor? Absolutely. But those are all things that should be going into your consideration, right? There are certain things, we talk about this all the time in real estate, there are certain things that you can change after you close, and there's certain things that you can't change after you close. Your cabinets and your flooring and your countertops can all be changed later, so if you don't love those, that's fine. If you hate that feeling of people walking on top of you, you should absolutely be going for the third floor because that will never change.
And pricing wise, did you typically see main floor be more expensive or top floor be more
Yeah,
expensive?
main floor absolutely traded at a premium. It was usually anywhere from about $10,000 to $15,000 more expensive than the third floor, about $20,000 to $25,000 more expensive than the middle floor. For two reasons. Number one, the lack of stairs. You had direct access, walk in from your garage, which doesn't normally exist on an apartment.
Correct.
But then number three, there was half as many, and so they did have to price those accordingly. Otherwise, those would all sell first.
Gotcha. The very first condo I bought was a main floor. All I'll say is those grocery runs up 4 flights of stairs. Be careful.
Built different.
I don't know if the view's worth it. It wasn't for me.
It's one of those things
don't
that I
know.
think if you're a single dude that's completely fine, like
It's
you got to
jacked.
get your couch up there, it's fine. Your groceries can probably be delivered to the third floor. But the second that you have that child and you're having to carry that car seat up 3 flights of stairs, I'm out.
Oh, I'm out.
Tangy.
Next one. I rarely go viral. This is from Yes Supply. I rarely go viral, yet my business makes $100K per month consistently. There's no need to chase going viral if what you really want is a consistent business. So number one, spell check, first of all. But number two, Yes Supply. I completely agree. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Especially in this business. I have had reels that get 300 views, 800 views. I would definitely say sub 1,000 views that result in something positive, that result in a conversation that then results in some sort of business. And so here, I think, especially for real estate agents, and we go back to the hyper-local thing, you have to get rid of the vanity metrics. And it's so difficult to do. I get it, because you look at the Ryan Serhants, you look at the Paige Stecklings, or you look at whoever it is, and you say, I want 90,000 followers, I want 30,000 views per reel, but you have to focus on the income-producing activities. Are those pieces of content generating conversations?
Yeah, this is a numbers game to me. Real estate will always be a numbers game to me. So while we do push social media like crazy here at the Perry Group, you will never see us push follower count. Why is that? Because you are better, let's really get into the math here. If you want to sell 30 houses a year through Instagram, through social media, through whatever, realistically, if you can convert at a 30% rate with your SOI, you need to be having 100 conversations a year. Right. That's the math. How do you get those 100 conversations a year? Well, statistically speaking, every single person is going to re-up, move, buy, sell at some point within 4 to 6 years is generally the market average. So that means that realistically, to have 100 conversations a year, you have to have 500 people that know you, that trust you, that respect you, and that are going to call you when the opportunity for them, when that 5-year cycle hits for them, are going to be wanting to move. 500 people, 500 followers. That's it. 500 hyper-local followers that know you as the go-to person. Now, does that mean that having 50,000 followers won't help? Yeah, it probably will. But I think that in this industry, people are so busy chasing those vanity metrics that you talked about that they don't understand that this is a numbers game, that to get 30 deals a year, you got to have 100 people in your DMs, and to have 100 people every 5 years is going to take you a total of 500 people. If you have a 500-person database on social media being used as your CRM, you are going to be able to crush this industry through social media without a large follower count, and that's why we will never stress large follower counts at the Perry Group.
100%. So what I would say is take a look at your insights. Your insights are super important. If I had 2 agents, and agent number 1 is getting 25,000 views per reel, but they're in Qatar.
Wherever, because they purchased them.
Versus an agent that gets 280 views per reel, but they're in their county, I think this agent is winning. I think this agent is absolutely winning, because those 280 people, again, it compounds. So it's not about hitting home runs every day. It's about singles once a day or multiple times a day. So if you can get 100, 200, 500, 900 views per day in your county, you will transact. You will absolutely transact. Versus other agents that get thousands and thousands and thousands, but they're in Argentina, and then you look up their numbers and they're not transacting.
Yeah, that's all I got to say on that. I think that's pretty easy.
See
See
you
y'all
guys later.
Monday.